done. It is finito. Let me tell you something. You know how people say karma isn't real because you see evil people doing stuff all the time and they never get held accountable. But let me tell you what is real. One, this crazy winter we're having in NYU. Let me tell you what is real, okay? Diddy is done. And he was done in by a secret recording that he made when he was gaslighting, right? Gaslighting victim, gaslighting Jane. On top of that, guess what? They didn't even have to read the thing. They didn't have to do anything. This mofo had it saved on his phone. And while it was recording and she was breaking down, he was writing with a notepad and a Sharpie. Y'all, let's get into this. Everybody want to act like Diddy is a Marvel supervillain. Everybody want to act like Diddy got to pay the cost to be the boss. Diddy must feel so stupid. He messed up. And yes, I am live from court, in court. Today, every day, always gonna be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Welcome back, everybody, okay? I'm on the quick break, right? Okay, so where do we start, okay? Let's jump into the meat of Jane's discussion. Now, you guys know that prosecutors have promises that Jane is going to testify that Diddy got super violent and beat her ass because she did not want to participate in a freak-off. Made her cover up her bruises and then had her perform. But let's talk about the most damning evidence that we have, that she was never down with it, that she never wanted it, that she truly was sex trafficked through fraud and coercion. Let's talk about the most damning evidence is Diddy's own secret recordings that he made of this girl. Y'all, this is karma. And this is what I mean when people say karma isn't real. Yes, evil people do persist. But at the end of the day, eventually, who you are and what you are catches up with you. Y'all, I took notes. They played that mug in the courthouse. I took notes. Hold on, let me see if I can put my phone up on the stand so I can give y'all the dramatic reinterpret. I know Diddy feels so dumb. I know he feels so stupid. Hold on, y'all. There you go. No? Okay. Ugh, what's that smell? New York City in the summertime. Yeah. Get my shit off that ground. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Ugh. God, is this what Diddy smelling in his thing with the rats and roaches? I don't like the way this looks either. Okay, let's get into what actually happened with Diddy, okay? We got to get into this. Paul Pondering said, so happy for your Nancy Grace. Did you guys see me on Nancy Grace? Did y'all see me on Nancy Grace? Y'all, I have been on ABC Live. I have been on Nightline. I have been on Publix 11. I have been on Nancy Grace. And guess what? I'm still in the courtroom. And guess what? It's not stopping. I have a bunch of other appearances. Y'all gonna see it. And we're planning something good, right? Listen, I promise every week until the trial is over, we're going to start having a weekly recap. It's either going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Turn your notifications on, but you know what I think, right? Monique Anderson said, you think Jane's working for the defense? Baby, listen, deeper than skin. Welcome to the Tattletales family. Okay, listen, let me tell y'all something. Anybody thinks that Jane is working for the defense, y'all out of your GD minds. I don't know how it's playing in live tweets, but literally they got that boy cooked. It is done. This is why Diddy is actually asking for a mistrial. That testimony is done. On top of that, the judge called both defense counsels. First of all, they said they're bringing Dr. Hughes back. You remember the girl that was like telling people how victims of abuse behave? The prosecution is trying to bring Dr. Hughes back to talk about victims' testimony and explain it to the jury, just in case. I guess they want to do a 3-point layup. But get this, Diddy's team and that mistrial. Oh, so after the mistrial, the prosecution said, you ain't running us anymore. Usually, like, when they put in something, the prosecution be da-da-da-da-da-da. Maureen called me and Emily and all those said, we are enjoying our weekend. They literally looked at that motion for mistrial and came in today on Monday and said, Your Honor, we'll get our response back today. The fact that people are really online trying to act like the Southern District of New York, that has taken down some of the biggest criminals in the world, had the nerve, time, or gall to falsify evidence and take Diddy's butt down, when Diddy got his own recordings proving, congratulations. These people, they just got married in the courthouse. It looks so cute. Look, right there. Well, anyway, right? when Diddy got his own recordings. Oh, thank you. All right. Can I get the stand? Hold on, y'all. I just got my stand. Hold on. We're about to get this, right? Thank you. Listen, when Diddy got his own recordings and took his own self down, what else happened to Chicken? You know what the funny thing is? Diddy literally is so smart, but he was too smart by half, where he literally, if he had not, who else was he with, right? If he had not taped, like, who else? Did he ever take Kim Porter secretly, right? I think when he was with the women he was with, he kept taping them secretly. And I think whenever he got with Jane, right? I think he also taped those people secretly and he didn't know, right? So it makes me think, if you were taping Jane secretly, did you call every woman that was around you that time Miami? Who else was around him? Did you call all those things? Did you also do that secretly? No, you guys don't understand. Diddy taped everybody he was with secretly, including Jane Doe. Think about who was around him at that time. He literally, and you guys, just to let you guys know, Jane Doe is not public facing. Her identity has not been revealed. I promise you guys don't know who Jane Doe is, all right? I promise y'all, right? Y'all do not know who Jane Doe is, okay? But you literally, right? You literally, nobody knows who she is. She is some random, when I say random, an unknown girl. She's just a regular girl. Nobody knows. I know there's rumors going around, but they're not celebrity and they don't have a name, okay? So stop it. But you think about what Sarah went through. You think about what Mia went through. You think about what Joy Chavez went through. You think about all the women that Diddy was around at that time. Did they have to suffer like this, and did they not know? Okay? Again, at the end of the day, you guys, nobody knows who Jane Doe is. So let's just move on. Y'all don't know. I'm telling y'all, okay? In any case, right? And actually, I don't even know who the girl is. So it is what it is. Okay, right? So listen to me on this, okay? So Diddy and his secret tapings. Why do I say even secret tapings of Meek Mill's birthday party? Y'all don't remember when one of the party planners actually said that Diddy took over this like Count Chocula mansion, and he took out all of the smoke detectors or carbon monoxide protectors, right? And then he replaced them with something that looked like cameras, right? And when they left, the whole mansion was trashed. There was bloody sheets, there was tunnels, there was all this stuff. Daisha Jones said, thanks for you, thank you. There was all this stuff that was around, right? And all that stuff happened. And at the end of the day, and that's what I said, why we thought that it was secret. Because after that, when Meek Mills was like, yo, no Diddy, what happened? There were photos that were taken from an above angle that looked like they were screenshots from the party. It looked like there were screenshots, right? And there were photos that were actually taken, and it was from an angle from the smoke detectors. So it's like, no, he used to film all these parties. I know that his team is really trying to say like, oh my God, freak-offs were just one woman, one man, and maybe that's so the celebrity friends can get off. I don't know. I just know that there are multiple party planners that went on record of reputable things that said that they also planned not only as corporate parties, but they also planned parties, right? They also planned parties for the Smex parties. That is on record. So now that people are trying to act like, listen, I'm not saying it was like eyes wide shut, but I'm just saying for people to act like there was no Smex parties going on, it seems like it's a little bit disingenuous. Now, again, the Smex parties, you could say were, hold on, y'all. So the Smex parties, you could actually say maybe were consensual. However, the freak-offs, they're trying to say it's not. Listen to what happened. No, they ain't gonna be no mistrial. Stop believing this Fulton County propaganda. Harvey Weinstein is across the street and has asked for a mistrial so many times. I think he's up to 13 times. Harvey Weinstein has asked for a mistrial 13 times. He ain't gotten on once. Just because you ask for a mistrial does not mean you're actually going to get a mistrial. Stop believing the hype, right? Listen. Anyway, let's get into this and what happened. It was really, really crazy, okay? This was crazy, okay? So again, they want to recall Dr. Hughes. She is the expert that they tried to get her testimony stricken. The prosecution came back and said, we ain't stricken nothing. Guess what? We want this again. You guys don't forget, I'm going to be on Nancy Grace. I've already been on NBC Nightline. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and that is good. All right? So listen, Jane was telling her testimony about how at this point she had gotten tired of the freak offs, and she was always telling him, Sean, I do not want to have these freak offs, all right? Also, you guys, just to let you know for the chat, we are not going to speculate. We are not going to say, we're not going to do it. If I see anybody even trying to guess who Jane Doe's identity is, I will delete the comments and you will be banned from the channel. Now, for those of y'all that care about being banned from the channel, that might do something. But we are not going to guess or speculate. I don't even know who the girl is, and she is not a public-facing figure, and I do not believe she has any public-facing profiles, okay? So, cut it out. We don't want to hear it. Don't guess it in the chat. Don't guess in the comments, and if you do, I will be forced to block you, okay? Anyway, right? They said, so Jane was like, listen, oh my God, Paige Collins, how has Diddy been acting? Oh my God. When Jane was testifying, Diddy was sitting there leaned up. I honestly think he went from, to me, vacillating between really, really caring and being like, you know, like trying to look like he gave a damn, like, and you know you felt like that. You mean when the train was getting run on you and I wouldn't let you wear a condom? Really? That made you feel upset? But for why? Who wouldn't want a train ran on them and for 40 hours and had to wear a condom, right? And then sometimes he just looked like fed up. And I said, you know what? You not, and this is all my opinion, right? Who knows what he was really thinking? But I said, you know, you gotta be a special kind of mofo that you still can't even pretend to have any patience for Jane. You gotta be a special type of mofo. I'll tell you what, also, why Jane was testifying, the victim was testifying, Mama Combs was sitting up straight. She was leaned forward. I think, in my opinion, Diddy was trying to give I think he was trying to give her the eye. And you know what I do want to say too? Jane, in all her messages, was begging Diddy to care. Begging Diddy to give a fuck about her. Begging Diddy to stop, right? And just care about her and treat her like she was human and stop messing with her mind. And you know the whole thing, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Like literally begging for go ahead and release himself. Hold on, let me put my bag over there. I'm back. And scene. Okay, right? So, I think she was just like, Jane was begging for Diddy just to stop psychologically torturing her, which is what he was doing, which I think I'm going to have on to talk about it because he did a good thing about how all these women, the pain was the point for Diddy. He loved psychologically torturing women. He loved psychologically torturing people. The pain and the chaos, it seems like that's what he was there for. If you believe the victims, and I 100% do. But the fact of the matter is, if he had just treated victim like she was human, if he had treated her like she mattered, and she wasn't asking for anything, she would just ask like just an ounce, just a, okay, go ahead, be in peace. She wanted to be released from the trauma. I mean, mentally released. And he could have, but he refused to. And how ironic is it that the person you thought was your bottom B, the person you thought that you could delight and just smush their heart into like the proverbial ground, the person you thought that you could treat like a piece is the person that even when you got on the phone and tried to manipulate, that's the person that took you down. But you know, the sad thing is, but lucky for us, but sad for him, is that she didn't take you down. You took yourself down. You running that same shit, doing that game, rinse and repeat, is what all had us in the courtroom. Why Marie called me was lean to the side, baby. She ain't got no worries. You know, Mark Agnifilio, why this was going on, kept looking over at Diddy like, you okay? He kept looking over at Diddy. Yes, I am in court. I don't know what y'all heard, baby. She's gonna be on court till the day I die. ABK said, we appreciate you too. I appreciate you too. Also, Diddy said, hey, Tisa, I think you should turn off the comments. They're saying that. Y'all, are y'all gonna make me turn the comments off? Are y'all going to make me turn the comments off? I'm on my phone. Hold on. Uh, Listen, B, if you need to, you can, thank you. B, if you need to, you can block people, of course, but you can also turn it off. I'm sick of, it's not y'all, I'm sick of the fucking dementors in this chat. Like, we are talking about real victims and getting justice served, and y'all trying to play a game of guess who and gotcha. A game you're losing, by the way. Move on, okay? Anyway, right? So anyway, all he had to do was just treat her like a human. All he had to do was not cold, callous, and such an a-hole. Oh, thank you, B. That's all you had to do. And now look, you couldn't even do that. Dwana Freeman, thank you so much for the super chat. You couldn't even do that. You couldn't even do that. We're gonna go to members only. B, can you do it to members only? Thank you. I'll let my members run amok, because I know y'all know how to act. Anyway, he couldn't do it. Let's get into this, right? Imagine sitting there. Why Merlin Comey she was confident. She was cocked to the side. She said, I forget the girl's name, but she was like, play this on the one and twos. And she was playing voicemail after voicemail, right? Let me tell you what's going on, right? So she said, now here's the thing. Unlike all Cassie's friends, they're like, oh, you still talk to Cassie. You still know Cassie, right? Victim said that she only met Cassie twice. Once at a fashion show in 2015 and another one at Diddy's Father's Day party, and that's where she actually met him, right? Now, here's the thing, right? She said there's been no, Victim said there's no communication outside of that. She said she broke down. She felt so bad. She was giving him a lot of sympathy. The jury was up and alive. They was taking notes, right? She said that she literally wrote all her feelings in voice notes. Voice notes are the new diary. She wrote all her feelings in voice notes, and then she copied and pasted some of the voice notes. And I said, oh, look at that. Victim is just like us. She copied and pasted some of the voice notes, and she put it straight into, right? She put it straight into, what do you call it? She put it straight into the text. You guys, from a legal pattern, Kelly L, thank you so much. And Talking Doctor, thank you so much. Kelly L, thank you for super chat for the third live stream, okay? And Talking Doctor, welcome to the family, right? Listen. Anyway, so let's see, where is it? You guys, let's focus on what I'm saying. Forget the trolls and that I don't even think they're real people. They're not real people. And let them run these numbers up. It is quite okay, okay? Right? So anyway, they said everything is, so she said, hold on, let me see if I can go members only. One second. Hold on. One second. Okay. There we go. I just put it subscribers only. Okay, so are we good? I think we're good. Okay, so let's get back into my little subbies, right? All right, sorry. And how much you want to bet half these haters are sub to me? Anyway, right? Let's get this, right? She said, I want to jump right into it. Okay, so on November 15th, 2023, this is days before this lawsuit was filed and nobody knew about it, right? Victim sent a text message, right? She sent a text message because apparently she had been forced to have a free call. And she sent a text message being like, do this. I don't like it. This sucks. You make me feel like trash. You make me feel dirty. You make me feel this. You make me feel that. Jane was going in, right? That was before anybody knew about the lawsuit, right? November 19th, 2023, Jane sent this message. I'm paraphrasing. Jane said, I've been crying all night. It makes me sick that this lawsuit, word for word, is like reading my own trauma. You made me have freak offs for 2 birthdays. You made me have sober nights where I felt disgusting. You knew this lawsuit was coming and you gaslit me and made me feel crazy. This is all just some sick game to you. I'm nothing but a toy. So basically, realize that she had been psychologically, the pimp Romeo thing, psychologically manipulated and destroyed. It's Mimi. Welcome to the Tattletales family, right? Now get this. And this is what I mean about his cruelty. It's what got him involved. You could have called victim back. You could have sent victim a text. You hadn't gotten arrested right now. You didn't know what was going on. Some people, Velma, thank you so much. 2 days later, after a person that is a carbon copy of Cassie's story. Somebody that can totally take you down. Somebody that is me. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna need for you to get on board. Like, to me, if that was me, it would never be me. But if that was me, right? If that was me, I would have said, let me get victim line, because I haven't stopped doing this mess. And all this stuff is going on. And even from a PR standpoint, this is before the feds gave any charges. Even from a PR standpoint, not be happening, right? I could not be happening. This cannot be happening. Do you see what I'm saying? Forget the criminal. From a PR standpoint, I can't let what I do, right? So get this, right? Listen, it's deeper than that. Diddy used her 100%, but don't forget that Diddy. Oh, hey, come on over. Hey, we have Law Logic really quick. We're gonna take a quick thing. He's gonna be on the channel. He's gonna be on the channel sometime this week or next week after Jane Doe is done testifying, so we can get to it. But right now, what's your take of what's going on? Let's get your honest take.
My honest take is that the state is really going to have trouble with this third charge for the sex trafficking of her.
Why do you think?
Because I think that she said herself, I don't know that I was forced. Like
Were you there at the end of the testimony where she called him crying, saying it wasn't consensual? You know it wasn't consensual, and I just want you to know that I never thought this was consensual.
I'm not saying it was consensual. I'm not saying it was.
Okay.
I'm saying she keeps shooting herself in the foot.
How?
Because when she keeps referring to him as my partner, and she keeps saying, this is what a girlfriend does. This is the sort of statements which we can expect on cross-examination.
Okay.
Is going to be coming out. They're going to be coming after this very, very hard to just try and say you felt obligated, not because he's giving you drugs, not because of the money, but you felt you had to do this because that's what a good girlfriend does, in your opinion.
Okay.
Now, I still think that's not to say it's not a monster. He's a terrible human being.
What about the violence you're just about to introduce?
Okay, so now the violence that I think can be key.
Yeah.
But here's the thing on the violence, and I want to be clear about this. Look, the guy's a monster.
Please don't say anything to get me canceled.
No,
Go on.
I'm just saying, he's a monster.
Okay.
He's a terrible human being.
Okay.
No, any guy who treats a woman like that is dirt.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, with respect to establishing that that's the cause of him trafficking, you have to show that she's doing it out of fear of future violence, right? Or that he's pushing her to do it right now.
But here's the thing that a lot of people are overlooking, right? And really quick, Antoine Hart said, good morning, Tisa. Looking forward to the Nancy Grace show today. Yay. Justice for the victims. Stay safe. Here's the thing I want to proposition to you, though. Okay. Why is everybody acting like there's not something called sex trafficking by fraud? And he's met those standards over and over again.
Okay, so when you're referring to sex trafficking by fraud.
By fraud.
What's the fraud here?
The fraud is saying, having her ingest drugs and saying we're going to have a night, it's just going to be the two of us. She gets high, she gets loose, she shows up at the hotel, there is somebody there. Saying that if you just do this freak off with me, we will go on a trip like I promised. Saying if you do A, I'll do B. The rent is coercion. The fraud is literally when there are commercial sex acts promising, it says it in a statute, a relationship, romantic, more time together. That's sex trafficking by fraud. And don't forget, when it comes to sex trafficking, real sex, there are pimps and there are people in love with them.
Right.
And that's how they get them to stay.
Right. Right. No.
So,
and I agree with you that someone could reasonably come to a conclusion that that is sex trafficking.
Yeah.
You need to get all 12.
What do you mean?
You need a unanimous jury to all agree with that take. I agree with you on your take there.
Yeah.
Okay? I agree with you that I would classify that as being sex trafficking.
Yeah.
But the question is, are you going to get 12 people that all 12 of them are going to agree that that qualifies as sex trafficking when he promises, I'm going to take you on a trip, and he doesn't take you on that trip?
But when they have text messages saying, just do this tonight real quick.
Right.
And then, baby, we will go where you want tomorrow. And the whole time she's like, babe, I just want to go straight to the trip. I want to go straight. No, let's just do this really quick.
Right.
And you do it over and over and over. And then after he does it, right, he tricks her, he leaves her.
The state needs to bring you in as their... they're going to bring Tisa in for closing arguments
listen,
here.
I'm just saying that. I will say this, though. Here's my question to you, okay? And then I'll get back to the chat and give you other things.
I'm trying to be real. I try to look at it from like all sides. You know
Listen, look at it from all sides. I've been looking at it too. I think they have them dead to rights because here's the thing, and what I want to ask you. You cannot, as a juror, just convict them vibes, right?
Right.
They have them once they introduce the force, and they will after the thing.
They're not supposed to. I won't tell you it doesn't happen, but on vibes, are you saying that they hate the guy?
Well, they're not. Well, when I say or even like the guy, think about it. With Jane, the force is being introduced, brutal force. We have the coercion, right? Mm-hmm. And we have the fraud. So I have you going and coming. What juror can go in there and be like, well, I don't think it was any of that?
I'm saying if someone is looking out for Diddy, right?
Yeah.
And we see some of them even in the courtroom here. Some people who are Diddy files, right? They're just if someone is looking for Diddy, you can one by one start to knock off each of these things as being something that's compelling her to do it. You can knock it off that she's looking to do it because she's the girlfriend. You can knock it off that it's like, that. I mean, look, some of the stuff that came out today, I agree with you. Some of it feels more coercive. When she's saying, "Hey, I'm frustrated with the way that you're dealing with me in this whole thing," I agree with you that now. But then she ends up going along and saying, "Okay, I'm going to do it." So is it because of the money, or is it that he love bombs her? She referred to him love bombing, so maybe she got suckered by the love bombing.
But I think Dr. Hughes needs to come back and explain the whole Romeo pimp dynamic because this is what happens in sex trafficking, and the fact that people are acting, and I get it. The fact that it's something that needs to change, that if you put a romantic relationship on it, if I punch you in the face right now, I will get arrested. If they find out we're in a relationship, the cops will be like, go ahead, walk it off. Like, they'll tell us both, go walk it off. It's just a lover's quarrel. Well, for some reason, whenever it comes to anything, when there's any type of potential romantic entanglement, they want to walk away. I don't know how the jurors will go in when you see the arson, the bribery, the this, the that. You see the Cassie, you see the Jane.
I think he's screwed on Rico.
Yeah, I think he's screwed on Rico.
I think he's screwed on Rico. I think Cassie just felt, with Cassie's sex trafficking, it just felt way more coercive so far to me.
Well, this
my flavor that I've gotten. It felt more coercive than Jane. So agree with me on that Cassie's situation seemed worse. Maybe it's because we saw the Intercontinental and the violence.
True. I do think that when we hear Jane's story, and I do think that Jane, just because, like, a big proponent of domestic violence often flows right into sex trafficking, all this stuff. Yeah. I feel that, and this is from the bottom of my heart, it's the pimp lover boy thing. Most victims, even of DV, are still madly in love with the person that abused them. And even though they might have bruises, they will sit on that witness stand and say, it was just an argument, I hit him first, please let it go. So when you get into the spirit of domestic violence, when you get into the thing of that, they are the people that the prosecution has a fight to come and actually give a testimony are the people that they actually abuse or that they're trafficking. So when you're saying my partner, which is why I think it's important Dr. Hughes gets back on the stand, because again, we're giving two different opinions, right? He's a man, right? But he's good.
What was that?
I'm joking. I'm joking. He's giving his opinion too. But again,
I think he's a monster. I think he's a terrible person.
No, it's a monster. But
I think it'd be appropriate. I want this guy to stand trial for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what I want. I want him to just be dealing with this for the rest of his life. That would be appropriate. Okay?
Yeah.
And
well, really quick, right? Listen, and thank you. And he blackmailed her. with the tapes. He blackmailed her with the tapes. Again, I think I don't understand how somebody can think that somebody is
He
literally.
blackmailed Cassie. I missed
No,
the part.
she's going to testify. He blackmailed her too.
Oh, okay.
That's coming
See,
with the
okay.
violence.
So
Yeah.
that change. You see, you
Okay.
want to introduce me violence and blackmail. That changes the whole thing.
Yeah.
And here's why the blackmail is such a big
Tell
thing
me.
to me. Okay. Because part of what we need to establish is not just that she feels forced,
Yeah.
but that he knows he's forcing her. He has to have the intent. Let's say Diddy thinks she really is okay with it.
Okay.
So in that case, he doesn't have the mens rea, which is the Latin term for the intent
Yes.
to actually be committing a crime. Without
Okay.
mens rea, you can't be convicted.
Yeah.
However, I think the state can make this following argument, which could be really powerful. If you are getting to a point that you have to blackmail someone, that means you know they don't really want to
Exactly.
do it. That shows to me the mens rea.
Well,
to me, when Cassie was telling me the story about she's on the airplane and he's showing that video there and saying what's going to happen next, to me, that was it. Hang him. Because now this
Yeah.
guy knows that he's forcing her to do something she doesn't want to do. He has to know that. So if he's engaging in physical violence and saying, do it, I'll beat the hell out of you, or he's engaging in blackmail, when he's going to that level, that's not your typical boyfriend pushing a
True.
girlfriend to something.
Well,
That is someone who's a monster who knows he's abusing and taking advantage of someone.
Okay, so let me ask you this really quick. Say Jane comes back and she testifies that they got into an argument. She threw something at him. He chased her around the house, their house, because now it's their house, kicking in the doors, chasing her. Things settled down. Later on, he said he wanted to break off. She said, I don't really want to. They get into another argument.
Right.
He beats her viciously, blacks her eye out.
Oh, okay, so that's...
Bruises all over.
Okay.
Well, hold on.
That's...
Bruises all over. Then makes her put on immediately after the beating, put on foundation to cover up the bruises and then have her freak off immediately that she did not want to do. Would that change your mind?
100%.
Because that's what's coming. According to the opening arguments, this is what the prosecution said that
They did say
Jane was going to testify almost verbatim.
Right. They definitely said engaged that he hit her within the last year.
Yes.
Which is
viciously
shocking.
Beat.
Yeah, that he beat her within the last year.
Yeah.
And if he did that and that leads to a freak off rather than him being mad at her.
Yeah.
In other words, it was the last day he ever sees her.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, you bet you ratted me out, and he
Yeah.
punches her face and walks out.
Yeah.
That's not compelling her to engage in a freak off. But if he's doing it in the context of we're gonna go have a hotel night, she's like, no, and he's like, bam, we're gonna have a hotel night. That now is obviously to me, that's trafficking.
Listen, okay, we have some agreement. Listen, really quick, why don't you give your socials? He's also going to be on the channel to break things down, but he has his own YouTube channel and does it right. Why don't you give your socials to everyone?
So I am Good Logic, Joe Neerman, aka Good Logic. You can find me on YouTube and Rumble at Good Logic, and on X you'll find me at The Following Pro. You'll probably say, why The Following Pro? It's because my show that I have a nightly show where I talk about law and politics called The Following Program. That was too long to put in there. So The Following Pro.
The Following Pro.
That's on X, but everywhere else, everywhere you're gonna find me on video, that's gonna be as Good Logic, LAWGIC, like not logic, but LAW because I'm a lawyer. I practice in this courthouse right here.
Okay, he's Logic, LAW, but it's a play on New York Logic.
There you go.
LAW, and he is going to be on the channel actually once Jane is done with her testimony to break everything down and to actually think, because I think she's scheduled to leave the last day of testimony Thursday. We will see. I think Friday week will be a good time for everyone to take a breath and be like, where are we at now?
Yeah.
Because the prosecution is confident they're going to settle. They're going to rest sometime next week, and then Diddy's going to start his little show. So.
Yeah.
Always good to see you, and I'll see you on the channel. Make sure y'all check them out. Okay, so you guys.
Great seeing you, Pizza.
Okay, I'll see you in the courtroom. All right? Yes, I'm still in the courtroom. I don't know what y'all. I stay in the courtroom. Anyway, right? Okay, so get this really quick, right? Get this, because I got to get back in the courtroom because she's about to get into the abuse, okay? Well, the physical abuse, right? Anyway, Jane texted him at 1:20 p.m., right? So 40 minutes later, he finally calls her. And she doesn't know that the call's being recorded. She doesn't know the call's being recorded. She literally called and he taped her illegally, right? She is sobbing, crying. She doesn't know she's being taped. She's reading the lawsuit. She's crying, she's sobbing. She's like, this is me. I can't believe you did. You've been gaslighting me. You've been lying to me. This wasn't. And he's like, yo, this is all This is all consensual. This is all consensual. You know, this is some freaky stuff me and you was doing. She literally says on the tape, it wasn't. I didn't want this. That may be the way you feel, but it wasn't. This is literally just what I was talking about a few days ago. Every time she tries to do that, he's like, and brushing her off the phone, right? He said, listen, but here's the thing. And it's kind of like the first shall be the last. He had no regard for this victim. And he talked to her and treated her like she was a joke, right? He said, yo, I'm sorry you feel this way. What do you want me to do? Swear I love you definitely and truly. This is just some kinky-ish we enjoyed. Yo, I got a lot going on, my family and my girls. Manipulation. Because every single time he wants somebody to feel sorry for him, he brings up his kids and his cute little girls, right? She's like, this is just word for word. This is just word. They asked, excuse me, Jane, did you know you were being taped? No. Did you know anybody was listening? No. But thank God she was telling the truth in those calls. Thank God she was telling the truth in those times. Oh, wait, it's time to go back? Okay, listen. Sorry, guys. I'm going to be back. Let me go back up to the courtroom. I cannot miss any tea for you guys, but I swear to God, as soon as she is done testifying, I'm coming back, and we are having the mother of all lives. And, baby, we know we got the things. But let me just say this, right? This girl actually said on this, she was like, here's the thing also that really tripped me out. He couldn't even act like he wasn't annoyed with her. This woman holds your whole life in her hands. And you can't even give her the respect to act like you weren't annoyed with her. This man, this arrogance, this stupidity, baby, you reap what you sow. Anyway, let me get off these stinky New York streets. Actually, let me read a little bit more, right? Oh, also, really quick, let me just get to these. Messages really quick. Honeybee Therapy, thank you so much. House of Cards, Tarot, and Tease. I posted a highlighted comment on one of your weekend uploads about how to block comments with the thing. I've been blocking those comments. Oh my God, two worlds collide. Thank you so much, House of Cards, Tarot. I love watching Joe's late night loves and Tease lives during the trial. Thank you. Thank y'all. You guys, I have it blocked, but these trolls keep doing stuff. But again, I'm going to have my moderators go in after and literally just start blocking people. Jack Walder said, listen, thank you so much. Shout out to BJ. Thank you, Jack Walder. Pamela Hilson, thank you so much for the super chat. Urban Influence, Dolores said, Tisa, you're correct. His opinion is giving, his mind is made up. The victims are like, I think that like everybody has a different level, but the jurors, maybe we'll see. Victoria Anderson, thank you so much for the super chat. Candy Ortiz said, I love you so much. You're doing a fantabulous job. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Night Skin said, Tisa, you're giving Spencer Tracy drives at the French coat. Love your coverage. Thank you. Antoinette Hart said, yes, are they bringing Dr. Hughes back to testify of Jane Doe's mindset? It could speak to why she keeps referring to him as her boyfriend. Romeo smacks traffic. Exactly. They are bringing her. Benitra, thank you for joining. Mel, you're going to be on the channel too. Mel NYC Reviews it. T says that Elle Woods meets Allie McBeal of Diddy Trial Reporting. Mel, you're going to be talking too. Sherry Reddy said, hello, beautiful. And hello, family. So excited to see you and Nancy Grace tonight. Yes. One OGs and one me. This is going to be epic. Love all. We are here for it. Also, Nokia Africa, thank you. Opal White, thank you for joining Tattletales family. Jupiter said, love you, superstar. You're a starting star. Yes, and Antigone Hart said, good morning, Tisa. Looking forward to the Nancy Grace show today. Simply Velma, thank you for joining. And it's Mimi, thank you again. Oh, also really quick, Sarah McCluskey, thank you. Yunti Flips it, love your jokes, Tisa. Mary McQuinlan, thank you so much. And Breezy said, if you need a mod, I'm more than willing to help. Okay, thank you. I got you. All right, listen, you guys. Let me get back up to the courtroom because it's just going down. But I swear when it's over, we're going to have a mega live. Miss Brown said, love this. Since you are there physically in the courtroom, is it true Jane is being planted as a chess move from Diddy? Sources are saying she's hurting the prosecution of both the case on Stop believing. No, I'm in that courtroom. If this is a chess move, baby, Diddy just needs to quit at life. I do not see this being a chess move. Again, they have him dead for rights with the statue, and they haven't even brought in the violence. They don't have nobody dead to rights at all. Believe that. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me get back up to court. I swear to God, I'm going to do the mother of all lives. This is going to be the Super Bowl tonight, and we are going to unpack everything. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.